to the Jacob Gospel Podcast. Again, special guest, my wife, Brandy Gospel, here joining us. Man, we got a good one for you today. It's going to be good. Huh? You don't think? Yeah, it's amazing. So today, we're talking about politics. Time to go there. It's time to go there. With everything going on in the United States right now, how could we not? We can't leave it out. I mean, everybody's talking about it, and I feel like we'd be doing our listeners a disjustice or injustice or whatever the hell you want. A disservice, yeah. Well, let's go with that one. That's why you're here.
I know.
That's why you're here. Yeah, so we don't want to leave you out of the mix on our political views and opinions. So... So this is going to be good. This is so awkward to talk about politics, right? So regardless of where you stand on politics, regardless if it's you vote Republican or Democrat or you're a conservative or a liberal, we really don't give a damn. That's our view on politics, right?
Right.
So tell us why that is.
Because we don't care.
We don't care. Why we don't care? We're not you. Put simple. So let's just describe this a little bit so you understand what we're talking about. Regardless who's in the White House, makes no difference to me as Jacob, because Jesus is still on the throne. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really where we are. You know, we got friends that are so conservative and friends that are so liberal and we don't have many liberal friends, because we tend to lean to the conservative side of things because we align our values and morals and views with the Bible, with God's views. So, and you know, God tends to be a little bit more conservative than liberal. You know, it's about more doing what's right than being what's right. That's kind of our view on things. But regardless of where you at on the spectrum, politically, you know, to sit here and really think that, you know, Donald Trump controls everything that's going on in my life and my economy, the amount of money that I make and all the things that happen would be foolish.
Mm-hmm.
And to think that, you know, if Joe Biden would win and he gets in the White House, and regardless of what happens with him, and they kick him out and then that woman becomes president, to think that any of that is really... Now, it's going to affect things, but how much money I make, where I go home to, all those things, to think that that's going to 100% change from where it is right now probably would be foolish.
Right.
And why is that? Because my trust is solely in God. Your trust is the same thing. And where we at with that and how we move forward with that is, if it happens, God allowed it. I mean, we look at Job, you know, it was terrible. The devil, you know, I'm going to summarize this story and paraphrase it. So if you're a theologian, just give me grace right here. So, you know, the devil came to God and was like, hey man, you know, Job, I know Job loves you, but if you give Job to me, like he's going to hate you. You know, I'm going to make him curse you. I'm going to make him talk about you. He's not going to love you anymore. And God was like, okay, well, yeah, go ahead. Just don't kill him. Just don't kill him, right? So devil went and took everything from Job. Killed his family, killed his wife, killed his kids, took all his possessions. Job was loaded, man. Job was like the Donald Trump of the world. He erased everything. And Job still loved God. He still praised God. He still had his trust in God. And the devil couldn't understand that. And I think like that's how people look at us now. It's like how can you be so calm and how can you be so... I mean, look at her. She's so calm and so peaceful and she's smiling and laughing. Like, how could you be so calm,
mm-hmm.
so peaceful,
right,
knowing what's going on in the world? Like, how can you do that?
Well, because I am at a place now where I understand that everything that happens is because God allows it. and he has a plan. He knows the end, he knows the beginning, and he knows the middle. And so I just have to put my trust in him that he has me right in the palm of his hands, right where he wants me to be. And whatever happens, happens because he allows it, or he creates it, or he makes it, or whatever it is. And so regardless of with this election and every election ever, he has a plan. And whoever ends up in the White House is a part of his plan. And I have to trust him because he knows better, because he's the creator.
Mm.
So even though it may be scary, the unknown always is. We just have to put our trust in him to know that he's got a plan and he has us in the palm of his hand.
Yeah. And everything works together for good.
Everything works together for good.
He fixes everything. So what seems like devastation to us, God turns it into something incredible.
Right.
So to finish the story with Job, after, all the suffering that Job went through, God restored everything back to him. No, he didn't have his same wife, and he didn't have his same kids, and he didn't have his same fortune, but it was restored to him abundantly beyond what it was to start with.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So with that being said, the bad things that's going on in your life right now, the bad things that's going on in this country right now, when God's going to restore that, if you keep your faith in him, it's going to be better than it ever was before.
Right. And we have to remember that what we think we need or what we think is good may not be good.
Yeah.
It may not be what we need. So some people, might be looking at it as, well, if this candidate gets in the White House, this bad thing's going to happen, this bad thing's going to happen, this bad thing's going to happen, and that's not what we want.
Yeah.
But ultimately, what do we really know about what we need and what is good for us? So maybe what we need is a lesson.
Yeah.
Maybe this whole country needs a lesson. Maybe we need a whipping. A lot of us need whippings. I mean, I know for a fact. Or maybe it's a blessing. Maybe it's a miracle. We don't know. He's the only one who knows. So if we look at it as there's always a lesson in it, good or bad, then we can learn from it and we can move on from it. And who knows what's going to happen on the other end.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true because, man, again, we talked about this on day one. You're going to hear me repeat things that are important. And one of the things is the failures and mishaps and what seems to be like terrible things is where actually I had my greatest success. So with this election, like exactly what you're talking about, what for me, if I knew, because when you think about the Bible and you think about like when God told Noah, build this ark, Noah didn't know what the hell was going on. He just did it. Mm-hmm. Everybody laughed at him. Yeah. Everybody told him he was a fool. Mm-hmm. He was dumb. But then whenever the rain started, everybody wanted to get on the ark that Noah built. So, but the reason he built the ark is because all of the chaos and evil that was going on in the world at the time. So when we talk about the end times, and again, I'm no theologian, so paraphrasing and using my own opinion with it, in the end times, that's when Jesus returns, that's what was going to happen, right? There's going to be so much chaos, so much stuff going on. So Brandy and I kind of laughed and joked about this, but I'm 100% dead serious. If I knew that Jesus was coming, if Biden won the election, I would vote for Joe Biden, right? Because it would be like, man, if that's what it needs for him to come, and I knew that I was going to spend the rest of eternity in heaven tomorrow, if Joe Biden won, then I would vote for him. If I knew it would be Donald Trump, I'd vote. It's whatever God wants me to do is what you would do. So I don't look at any of this election stuff. Yes, it's important. And yes, I have, my stance on abortion, Of course, I want the more biblical version of the law to be held up. But again, that's where the gray area comes in, where if God allows it, there must be a reason. And you could go down. That's like the biggest question of Christianity, right? Is like,
Yeah.
man, why does God let babies die? Why does God let, dads die? What, just all the suffering, all the things that happen. Well, the bottom line is we don't know. We don't know. Like, my mind is not God's mind.
Right.
He's the supreme architect of the universe. He knows above and beyond anything that we could ever imagine. And to think that our brains could understand what God is thinking and understand God in general. Think about how you would be dumbing down God.
Yeah, you don't want a God you can actually comprehend.
Right. If you could comprehend it, if you could think about and be like, oh, well, that's why God did that. Yeah, I completely understand that. Whoa. I do not want that. I do not want that.
Yeah.
I want things that I can understand by God, to where whenever it gets revealed to me, it's, oh, wow, yeah. I didn't see the end from the beginning. I didn't know. And that's what you want. Another thing that I think is good, in these times, because I always get excited whenever I get people that talk about the universe, and like they, for whatever reason, they're scared to say God and they're scared to say Jesus, whether they don't believe it or they just don't want to say it in different company. So they say, I was at a meeting last week and they was talking about, putting things into the universe.
Yeah.
Right. So when you give it to the universe give, because the universe is huge, right? I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
And we talk about the law of attraction and all those things, and it's all true. It's all true. You give it to the universe and it does come back to you. The difference is God holds the universe in the palm of his hands. Like, he was the creator of the universe. So when you want things and you're doing things, you have, like, some people they go to the creation. Like, that's your words that you say. They go to the creation. And the difference between going to the creation is that you could understand the creation, because we know how plants grow. We know how electricity is made now. We understand that. Mm-hmm. And it's good because it gives us like a sense of security, like we truly understand what's going on in the universe.
It gives us control. It helps us to feel like we're in control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because we can understand that.
Yeah.
But when we go to God, that's something like, it's so much bigger than the universe and so much more complex, and we absolutely know nothing about. And our pride as humans make us not want to be able to go to that.
To the creator.
To the creator. Because how could God create the universe like it's, the universe? Simple answer. I know the answer. I have no clue. That's the answer. Because I'm not God. And I'm okay with not knowing.
Right.
And that's why I have so much peace, is because, like, just what we were talking about, when I have an issue, I go to the creator, not the creation.
Right.
And that's, when you talk about peace, that's ultimate peace.
Yes. It's not our job to always understand. It's our job to love. Mm-hmm. So even though the person sitting across from you is more liberal and you're more conservative, it's not your job to worry about it. It's your job to love that person no matter what.
So what you're saying is,
mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I can't punch that person in the face.
No, you cannot.
I mean, I can.
I mean, yeah, you could,
but I'm not supposed to.
Right.
I'm supposed to love that person.
God would not want you to do that, no.
So what you're saying is, because I know Jesus died for me.
That's right. He also died for that person.
The liberal?
The liberal. Mm-hmm.
He died for the liberal.
He did. Mm-hmm.
Hard to comprehend, huh?
But he did.
So what about the atheists? What about the people who are like, F God? I almost said it.
Mm-hmm. He died for them too.
And they don't even know it.
They don't know it, but that's okay. It's not your job to worry about it. It's your job to love them.
And like, so some specific situations we get in conversations with people that think, I created this space for, like, I own a business
Yeah.
or a charity or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I created that. I did that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of like, yeah, I believe in God, but I kind of don't, but Jacob built this thing, business. Let's just call it a business. And you work for me.
Mm-hmm.
You thanking me, you're coming to me for everything that I've given you. I've given you a place to work that paid you an enormous amount of money. I gave you a space where your gifts can flourish and all this stuff.
Okay.
And um, you thank God for it.
Yeah.
Why you don't thank me for it? I'm the one who started this for you.
Well, I would probably thank you and God.
Yeah.
Because God created you, who gave me the opportunity, so ultimately it was Him.
But I'm an atheist.
But you didn't.
I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Or I'm mad at God. Hell with God.
It doesn't matter.
So God can still use me.
To bless me?
To bless you.
Yes, absolutely.
And I don't even know it.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
So I said all that in a roundabout way to say this. When you encounter, whether you're a believer or not, but if you are a believer and you encounter people who question God or don't believe in God, know that God still uses that person, even though they don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lesson or something in there that could very well be for you. You could not be here to save that person. You could be here to either plant a seed or water a seed for that person. But that person can actually be someone who's going to propel you forward in whatever area God wants it to happen in. And God can use that person, extremely, with that person not even knowing it. That person could have pride. They could be broken. They could be fallen. It really doesn't matter. God can still use those people. So don't condemn those people. Don't look at them and be like, God, you're wrong for that. Like, it's not you. It is God. Don't do that. Love that person.
Right.
Because that's the thing to do. Don't punch them in the face. They may know Muay Thai, whip your butt. I don't know.
You're stupid.
I'm stupid. It happens. If you don't know, I get a little bit extreme on stuff. So I take things to the limit. I want to make people feel uncomfortable. I'm really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're never in a place with God. Know this too. You're never in a place that's a mistake. Like, everything is on purpose. Like, you're never going to be in a place or a time or something where you're like, oh my God, I shouldn't. It's a huge mistake to be here. No, there's a lesson in it. There's a reason you're there. Like, there's no coincidence in anything. And just like I was saying, had a meeting last week, and I was around certain guys that, I was told to me that by one of them that how I changed their life by just a story that I told. And what was funny is I was thinking the same thing of them. And I got a call last night from one of them that totally gave me chills in my entire body with the things that the guy spoke over me. And I was supposed to be at that meeting to meet them for not only my benefit, but their benefit. Because it's a circle. We all feed each other. And so when you're in a situation like that, you have to be aware that you're there to teach somebody something. You're there to be something for somebody. I call it an anchor. And then you're there because someone else is going to be an anchor for you in some way, shape, or form. There's always a flow of that energy there. It's just how God designed it to be. You got anything else to add on that?
Well, I think if we go back to the original topic that we started off on.
Well, this is not the original topic. We didn't chase squirrels again?
When you look at another person and their reason, for voting a certain way, this candidate or this candidate, well, you can't judge them without even knowing their story, and you can never know their whole story. You can never know the reason behind why they do things. Mm-hmm. So you have this person who's going to vote a certain way because his lifestyle, his livelihood revolves around the oil and gas industry. So he's probably going to vote a certain way. You have this person who is in law enforcement, or family members are in law enforcement. They probably going to vote this way. You have someone who grew up in this sort of household, regardless of what it is, they're going to lean a certain way. So you can't just look at a person and say, I've read so many things on social media lately that other people have said about, anyone because of the way that they vote. They're stupid because they vote for this person. They're racist because they vote for this person. They're uneducated. They're ignorant. But the truth is, we really don't know what is behind someone's thoughts and what's really in their heart, why they want to vote a certain way.
Yeah.
So to judge that person, it really is more of a reflection on us than it is on them.
Yeah.
It shows our heart more than theirs.
Yeah.
Because we don't know theirs.
Yeah.
So we're here just to love and to respect each other regardless.
All right, everybody. Well, this concludes the Jacob Gospel podcast. So, Brandy, thank you for being on again and sharing some wisdom, keeping me in line, keeping me a little focused. And if you like this video or you think it's helpful for somebody, man, go ahead and share that. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on social media. And then all the podcast outlets, now we're on Google. I don't even know the list of those. So just go search it on Google and you'll figure out where to find us at.
It's a great video.
It's a great video. So anyway, we're going to leave that in the video. That was Eric, my good buddy, come and try to catch me off guard, which he's good at and he's successful at, so he got it. But make sure you like us and share everything, and we'll talk to y'all soon. We love each and every one of y'all.